What's up, y'all? It's your boy TGK back with another Mavericks reaction video. I know y'all probably been seeing me react to some other styles of content and you know, just trying to try different stuff. I don't want to just be non-stop Maverick stuff. You know, I gotta pace everything out. Okay, today we're going to react to ThreeCone, as you saw in the thumbnail. This is ThreeCone. He said the best NBA rivalry in the NBA, or the best new rivalry in the NBA. Again, as I like to say, enough of the fluff. Let's get to the stuff. Again, this is ThreeCone, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who ThreeCone is, look at the little this thing over here. He's a Thunders fan, right? A Thunder fan. That's why he put Shai Gilgeous in the thumbnail, you know, mocking us over the loss. I am interested to see if he's going to be gloating this victory, you know. And again, kudos to the Thunder. They beat our ass. They deserve all the congratulations on eliminating us from the NBA Cup. Congratulations. Now, you know, I'd much rather be eliminated or eliminating the team from the actual playoffs. But hey, you know, nice parade. Hopefully I could win and seal the deal and get the NBA Cup. But I want to see what he says about this new rivalry in the NBA. And I do agree. I do think it's the new best rivalry in the NBA. I know the NBA been trying to like push this Phoenix Suns and Mavericks rivalry. Nah, that ain't it. This one's it. Honestly, this should have been the Christmas Day game as well. This is it. This is the rivalry right now for both these teams. Like OKC and Dallas, we're down the street from each other. We don't like each other, you know. But, you know, Oklahoma relies on us for their casinos. Anyway, enough of the fluff. Let's get to the stuff. I'm already going off on a tangent. Let's go.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Cone back here again today with another episode of After the Buzzer, the show where I recap the NBA games from the night. It's been a little while since I've done one of these recaps, but last night was the beginning of the NBA Cup knockout round, so I thought I'd go ahead and make a return, and it was a great first couple of games of the quarterfinals. We had Magic versus Bucks, and then Thunder versus Mavericks, which I'm sure you're not surprised was my most anticipated game of the first round, both because I'm a Thunder fan, but also because it felt like a fun continuation of what is quickly becoming the NBA's most exciting rivalry. And there aren't many rivalries in the NBA right now. It's kind of a thing of the past at the moment, but I feel like we're going to start to see more and more as this new era comes into sight, and Thunder versus Mavericks has quickly risen up the hierarchy of these modern rivalries. It started last year when they played in the playoffs. Of course, you've got Shai going up against Luka, two top 5 players, two MVP candidates, and both being guards, I think is also big for that rivalry too. And people are evaluating, you know, who outplayed the other in this game. People are debating which of them is the better player. Of course, Shai finished ahead of Luka in the MVP voting last year, finishing second to Luka's third.
He had the jab and then turned the, you know, he had to twist the jab, you know. All right, that's, you know, cool. I can't say much today. We lost the other night. I can't say much. I'm reviewing your video. I'm reacting, but you wanna twist that MVP knife into us. All right, cool. That's cool. And I took that personal, you know.
So people were debating, was that a mistake? And I really think it could have gone either way. You had Ludor going up against Luka and guarding him. That was a whole thing. Of course, Kyrie Irving being involved, another skill guard, going up against the high-level defensive guards of OKC. You know, Chet Holmgren being this young big and Derek Lively, a young big ascending. The two teams played in a 6-game series that had a 0-point differential between the two of them. It was one of the best series of the entire playoffs last year. And coming into this season, both teams were at the top of the championship odds coming out of the Western Conference. Thunder were first. Mavericks were second. I projected the two of them to face off in the Western Conference Finals. They both made moves to make themselves even scarier going up against each other. Like the Mavs adding Klay Thompson, of course, renowned Thunder killer, as well as Najee Marshall, who's a really fun Swiss Army knife defender and improving offensive player in his recent career. You've got the Thunder adding Alex Caruso, giving them another guard defender to throw at those elite guards of Dallas as a
Hey, kudos to Caruso, man. I was wrong. I said, hey, man, this dude ain't doing enough. This dude ain't helping the Thunder. He's been shooting like crap. Let me eat some crow. Let me shut the fuck up. Like, he bought out. He kicked our ass. Hey, I like to be held accountable, and I also like to hold others accountable. If we got our ass whooped and I was wrong about a particular player, I was wrong about Caruso. The dude bought out, man. He was a problem. He definitely was a problem. And I don't know if the Mavericks cared about this game for some reason. It's just like they weren't trying as hard, and this is no excuse. We got our ass whooped. But I'm like, why didn't it feel like the Mavericks players cared about this game? Like, they just weren't fighting as hard as the Thunder were. To the Thunder, this meant everything to them, and I just wish it meant the same for us, but we got our ass whooped. Anyway, continue.
Hartenstein to help out with the non-Chet Holmgren minutes, which were a big burden to Oklahoma City last year. It felt like the two juggernauts got even better, and so I was really excited to see this matchup with the two teams healthier than we saw them play against each other in their first matchup, where there was no Luka Dončić, there was no Alex Caruso, no Chet Holmgren, no Isaiah Hartenstein, and it was a really fun game. Right from the tip, there was a very clear intensity to this game. Like, Luka, when he first touched the ball, immediately got booed by the entire Thunder fan base, which as a Thunder fan, I was not expecting. Shea from the outset was in that playoff killer, I gotta go get buckets mode. A lot of nights, Shea will kind of take his time, feel the game out and not really shoot for the first few minutes. Not in this one. Shea had 16 points in the first quarter alone and finished the game with just a completely absurd stat line with 39 points on crazy efficiency. He hit 5 threes. Again, extremely locked in. He takes these matchups seriously, and he said so after the game that this is one that he's had circled on his calendar. You saw.
And kudos to Shai Gilgeous. He's been shooting horrible from 3 as of late, and boy, did he ever not shoot horrible in this game. Like, he was hitting shots that I was like comfortable with. I was like, he gonna miss it, and he made it. So kudos to Shai. And I know my Mavericks fan base are gonna be like, you in here gloating the Thunder. Look, bro, I would hope others do the same for the Mavericks when we beat them. You get what I'm saying? Thunder deserve all the credit. It is what it is.
Saw that with the intensity with how the Thunder were chasing loose balls. I think about at the end of the third quarter when Alex Caruso dove for a ball and tapped it out to Isaiah Joe for a 3. Every time there was a big moment, the crowd exploded. The Thunder guys were showing a lot of emotion. Shea in particular doesn't show a lot of emotion when he's playing, but he was really into this one. For the Mavericks, you saw them really trying to get things going, even though the offense was hard to come by in this game. Kyrie had some crazy finishes. Clay hit 5 threes. And as a Thunder fan, that's a sight that I don't ever want to see, is Klay Thompson heating up. Najee Marshall was amazing in this game, stepping up for PJ Washington, who was out, and I think him playing would have only even added to the atmosphere of this one, because if you didn't know, he is a Thunder killer. Every time PJ plays OKC, he goes crazy. So hopefully next time these two teams play, PJ is in the lineup. But yeah, Najee's been great. Definitely wasn't Luka's night scoring the basketball, but throwing some really good passes, and they were setting up a ton of lobs like they did in the playoffs, but the Thunder found a way to counter it. It was just so interesting to see how these two teams have evolved and how they play differently. And again, it led to this hyper intense environment where the Thunder crowd was going ballistic anytime anything happened. There were a couple major highlight plays where the crowd is losing their minds, and in the end, the Thunder do win 118-104 to advance in the NBA Cup. And I'm excited about that. Of course, as a Thunder fan, I'd like to see them go all the way, win the Cup. It would be a cool accomplishment for a young team. But most of all, I just really hope we get to see these two teams face off against each other in an upcoming playoff series with the intensity that is there, both in the games from the fans in the arena, but also with the fan bases. If you're not a Thunder Mavericks fan, you probably don't see this as much. Trust me, I see a lot of it in my YouTube comments, but a lot of Thunder Mavericks fans really do not like each other. There is legitimate animosity towards.
Facts. Hey, ThreeCone, unblock me on Twitter. Let's show people we could be better than, the perception of our fan bases. I still don't understand why you block me. That's another question. That's another thing to be had, but I wouldn't be surprised if this video gets blocked,
towards each other following the playoff series last year, and having those fan bases kind of at each other's throats, the players taking the games incredibly seriously, the atmosphere being elevated, are all signs of a budding and eventually really great rivalry. And I don't know why the NBA isn't pushing this more amongst all this discussion of declining viewership and ratings and what is the NBA going to do when their faces retire like LeBron, Steph, and Kevin Durant. To me, a no-brainer would be to push this rivalry featuring two of the best players in your sport, the two best guards in the NBA, rising superstars, guys that can be faces of the league in Shea and Luka Dončić, and their amazing supporting cast around them with so many interesting players between Kyrie and Derek Lively for the Mavericks, as well as like a PJ Washington, who's this great role player. And of course, Klay Thompson, who's one of the faces of this past generation. You've also got like Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams, two rising all-star, all-NBA caliber players, and that all-time defense in the addition of Hartenstein. Like, there's so many things that you could talk about, so many narratives between these two teams, with them being in the same conference, with the two best players being at the same position, with them having a playoff battle in this NBA Cup game. Why is this not being promoted more? This feels like a no-brainer to me. Especially,
I agree. NBA, listen to ThreeCone here. Like, before this game happened, I was hosting a pregame show at the time, and I was like, there was like no media hype, there was like no media blitzes. ESPN First Take, no one talked about the NBA Cup. There was no mention of anything. And I'm like, this was a premier situation, a premium game here that they could have promoted the F out of, and they really didn't. And yet we get more Hoop Collective podcasts. I don't want more Hoop Collective podcasts. I want them to highlight these games and these players, man, because that's how you grow the sport. And that's why the ratings are declining and all that good stuff. I 1,000% agree with ThreeCone here. That was a great observation, sir.
Especially when people have been clamoring for rivalries and people saying, oh, I want to see more defense in the league. These are two of the best defenses in the entire NBA. Push these two teams and these top players, and I feel like that would be a big boost. I think the casual fans could really get into that, and they honestly really should have had these two teams play on Christmas. I don't know how that...
See? I'm just saying, I said that at the top of this video. Again, I blind react to all this stuff. So look at that. Me and Cone agreeing on something. That's crazy.
Wasn't the matchup that they went with. Just in general, the Thunder not being on Christmas is a disaster. How do you not put this young team that is going to be one of the faces of the NBA for like the next 5 to 10 seasons on your most important day for viewership? I don't understand.
Wait, they're not on Christmas? That's insane. That is insane. That is insane. That's egregious. That is very egregious by the NBA. Nobody cares about the Timberwolves. They should have put the Thunder on, man. Damn.
Understand that. But like the Mavericks versus the Timberwolves is going to be fun. Seeing Ant go up against Luka will be exciting. But like, you know,
Mavericks going to win this. Like, this might be the most boringest Christmas game the Mavericks were part of. We're easy dub. Easy dub. Put it up. Easy dub.
I think the Mavericks are just a clearly better team if they're healthy. They win that game, whereas with the OKC one, I think it would have been a really close down to the wire battle that could have gone either way, but it, in my opinion, would have been a better game than Timberwolves versus Mavericks. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that front. But anyways, that just feels like a missed opportunity to me. But whether or not the NBA pushes it, this is going to become the next big rivalry in the Western Conference, if you ask me. I think eventually, like Spurs, OKC could kind of fit in that too, with, you know, Chet versus Wemby, but the Spurs are still kind of coming along. They're still developing their talent at the moment. They're in the early stages of the rebuild, while OKC and Dallas are here. And I keep saying it, but I feel like they're really on a collision course for the Western Conference Finals. There are some teams that can mess it up a little bit, like, you know, Memphis has been playing really well, and Houston, I think they're a little bit too inexperienced, but they are a team that could be a tough out. But to me, these are the best two teams in the Western Conference.
Agreed.
They're building out this rivalry, whether the NBA likes it or not. They should like it because I think it would be great for viewership and building up their brand. It's a great storyline, a great narrative. It will come along. This is the next great rivalry in the NBA, and this NBA Cup game was a great example of it. I already know someday I'm going to be able to look back and tell my kids about the early 2020s Thunder versus Mavericks battles, and Shea versus Luka, and Dort versus Luka, and Kyrie Irving being involved, and now Klay Thompson. Like, just talk about Shea, Luka, Kyrie, Klay. That's 4 future Hall of Famers right off the bat.
Yep.
And, you know, we'll have to see what Chet and J-Dub's careers, biasly, I think they could end up in that spot. But at least 4 bona fide Hall of Famers. I just don't know how this isn't pushed more. But yeah, super fun budding rivalry. It was a great game. As a Thunder fan, of course, I probably enjoyed it more than some Mavericks fans, but I'm really excited to see it continue along. I like this Mavericks team, by the way. For some reason, people in my comments have decided that I hate the Mavericks because I'm a Thunder fan. I actually really like Dallas. Luka has been one of my favorite players ever since he entered the league. Kyrie Irving is one of my favorite players to watch ever. So yeah, don't really know where that comes from. I really hope by the post.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe the thumbnail you selected, you know, I don't know. But yeah, man, for anybody out there giving ThreeCone a hard time, y'all need to relax, bro. I need to relax. Let me do that. Now I'm playing. Play video. That's why. Of course. Shaking my head.
Because a fully healthy Mavericks versus fully healthy Thunder team would be a clash of the Titans and has a real chance to be an all-time classic playoff series. I cannot wait. Fingers crossed that we get that duel. And finally, moving on to the other game we had.
I don't care about the other game. But yeah, man, I totally agree with a lot of what ThreeCone said there, man. This is a great rivalry. It really is. It really is. I do think the NBA needs to hyper focus on it and put more attention on this rivalry. I definitely, man, it is. You know, we all look forward to this game, bro. We all did. We all look forward to this matchup. It's a you know, measuring stick contest to see where we at, see where we rank against the squad, and you know, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun as it continues, and I do think we're all gonna meet in the playoffs, and I do think it should be for the Western Conference Finals, and I hope it's for a bid for the NBA Finals. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait. And I'm glad he didn't really gloat. He didn't go for the low blow there. He you know, he took the high road, and I appreciate that. I wouldn't, but you know. Anyway, man, it's been your boy TGK. If y'all enjoyed this video, definitely leave a like, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a member, all that good stuff. Y'all go check out ThreeCone. Link will be in the description below, but y'all might already know where that guy's at. That man got a big page over there. Anyways, been your boy TGK. Appreciate y'all watching. We are out. Adios.